Hello everyone and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my Raspberry Punch Arc Hunter 3.0 build. It essentially gives you your grenades back indefinitely along with your melee and super fast, super recharge abilities so you can keep that Gathering Storm coming as much as possible. So without further ado, let's get right into the build. If we go over here to the Arc Strider, we're going to look at it. We have that Gathering Storm on there. I really like this. There's not too, this is actually a shorter cooldown than the Arc Staff, and it's, I think, a better super in general. But we have the Gambler's Dodge, which recharges your melee ability. You can really use any jump you'd like. I was using Blink a little bit, even in PvE, yes, to close that gap a little bit if you need to, but you can really pick whichever jump you would like. Combination Blow is crucial, a quick strike that temporarily increases your melee damage when defeating a target stacking 3 times. Defeating targets with this ability also fully refills your class ability energy, restores a small amount of health. Team that with Arc Bolt Grenade, a grenade that can chains bolts of lightning to nearby targets. That goes with the Lucky Raspberry. We know that for the aspects, we have Lethal Current after dodging your next melee attack, has an increased lunge range, jolts the target, and creates a damaging aftershock. Damaging any jolted target with melee attacks also blinds them, which is super helpful to keep you in the fight and keep you alive. We also have Flow State. Defeating a jolted target makes you amplified. Amplified makes your dodge recharge quicker just in case it doesn't come up. You are more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased. You can see how all of this is starting to blend together. For the fragments, first we have Spark of Discharge. Arc Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create an ionic trace. I'm considering moving this out once we get some of these other ones here. Maybe this one here, Spark of Feedback. Or even this one here, Spark of Amplitude. Rapidly defeating targets while you are amplified creates an orb of power. These two are, I think, are possible for to slot in there once they get unlocked. For the next one, we have Spark of Shock. Your Arc Grenade bolt jolts targets. Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. This is super helpful with that +10 strength, as well as keeping you alive, because you're going to be in the thick of it. And finally, the Spark of Beacons. While you are amplified, your special weapon Final Blows create a blinding explosion. This is kind of nice. Again, keeping you in the fight, keeping those guys off you, also allowing you to close the distance without taking too much damage. For the weapons, you can really use whatever you want. Okay, I like to use the Monte Carlo when the occasion calls for it, because the weapon, if your melee for some reason doesn't come back, say you dodge and you're not as close to the enemies as you thought you were, and the melee doesn't come back, the Monte Carlo will help you get that your melee back that much quicker. It also, after you get a bunch of kills with your melee, Markov Chain will proc. This weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon. The thing starts to shred after a few kills. It really starts to hit hard. That's why I like to run it. It's also, we also have an assault rifle mod for champs this season, so I've been using this a lot. But you can also use something like a 1-2 punch shotgun for some extra melee damage output. In the middle slot, Forbearance with Chain Reaction is fantastic. I've been using this a lot, but also Ikilos or an SMG with Demolitionist is super helpful as well. Any weapon with Demolitionist, really. Insidious, Trespasser, Salvager Salvo, Chain Reaction, Demolitionist, very nice as well. In the heavy slot, it's dealer's choice, whatever you want to use. Anarchy's broken right now, give it a shot. For our mods, now depending on what your gear allows you to do, your first mod's always going to be different. That stat increase. I like to have 100 resilience. I like to get as close to 100 in discipline, and then I'm going to get my mobility up as high as possible, because I want to be able to dodge and get that dodge back quickly. So in the top slot, I have a hands-on, gain bonus super energy in your melee kills. Again, it just keeps my super coming back, and I can just spam it and throw it out whenever I want. Harmonic Siphon for the Orbs of Power, again, giving me a little bit of super energy. Well of Ions, picking up an Arc Elemental Well causes your next melee to deal increased damage. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to go into the arms. If I'm not using one of these mods here, I'm going to use Causing Damage with a melee attack, reduces your grenade cooldown. I could also use Focusing Strike, grants class ability energy when you cause damage with your melee attack, but your melee attack is going to refund your your class ability anyway, so I don't use it. Finally, you got Font of Wisdom, again, helping my super come back that much quicker. For the Lucky Raspberry, increases the chaining capabilities of Arc Bolt Grenade and has a chance to recharge it each time it deals damage. A full chain always recharges. I covered this chest piece when I did the top 15 armor pieces for Arc 3.0. It didn't disappoint. It came back hard. It keeps those Arc Bolt Grenades coming, and really helps to reduce the cooldown, if not recharging them immediately. We're going to go into the legs. I like to have solar legs because I can do recuperation just for that little bit of healing. Also reduce it for innervation for reducing my grenade cooldown. I have melee Wellmaker on here as well. And finally, on the class item, I have 2 bomber perks, reducing grenade cooldown when using your class ability. Again, those I think are pretty self-explanatory. And elemental light. This is where I wish I had bountiful wells, because I would be probably using bountiful wells instead of elemental light. But I'm just trying to spawn as much wells as I possibly can. But if you have bountiful wells, I'd probably slot that in here instead of elemental light. And that's going to be it, guys. Order of operations for the build. We're going to have some gameplay in the background, but you can saw it in the introduction of the video as well. You're going to dodge, melee, dodge, melee. When you come up, you got a lot around you and you're a little nervous or whatever, maybe you get a little panicky, chuck that grenade. When you are coming up on a chunky guy, a yellow or an orange bar, chuck that grenade. Get him weak, dodge, melee. It works every time, guys. And if you don't get the kill, it's not going to recharge your class ability. Keep punching. Keep punching. You're going to get him down. And if you think he's got too much health, drop that grenade. And you'll get him down and you'll be out of trouble. The grenade, a lot of times for me, is either a weakening ability to weaken for my punch, or it is a lifesaver. I chuck it when I think I'm in trouble. Okay, well, if I see a lot of enemies right there, I chuck it as I'm going in so I can get the grenade kills, get that recharge, and then I clean up with my melee. So use them back to back. You'll see it in the gameplay. I'm going to let it play out a little bit. We did it on Keitel. We did it, as you can see in the Lost Sector in the intro. It works very well. But if this build helps you or you enjoyed the build, please drop a like. Hit that subscribe button for more. I'm going to have a Warlock build and a Titan build coming out very soon as I get there. And we're going to be doing Day 1 raid. Also, if you need help with picking the right pieces of armor to get your stats as high as they can, I have a guide. It'll be linked in the description below and in the top right-hand corner for D2 armor picker and dimmed loadouts. Give that a watch. It's super helpful. It's how I build all of my builds out. But thank you all so much for the continued support, and hopefully you like the build. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.